Welcome, everyone. My name is Manish Shah, and I'm a professor of management at Lake Forest Graduate School. Today's talk will be conducted in a question and answer format. Let me introduce today's holistic inner science expert, Deepak Anandji. Deepak Anandji has a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. He has several years' experience working in cement and petrochemical industry. From early childhood, he had an inclination to be a celibate. He received self-realization through the grace of self-realized holistic scientist Sri M. Patel in 1983. Since then, he has pursued his dream to work selflessly to spread the message of holistic inner science for the upliftment of the entire humankind. He has devoted his entire life to studying holistic inner science and visiting rural areas and cities in India, USA, UK, Canada, UK, Europe, Africa, Australia, and New Zealand, to spread the scientific understanding of life through holistic inner science. Welcome, Deepak Anandji.
Thank you so much for such a humble introduction. Thanks a lot.
Today's topic is linked to happiness. It's about normal and natural living for happiness using the principles of holistic inner science. So Deepak Anandji, I wanted to get started with a question for you. How can you distinguish between normal and abnormal living according to holistic inner science?
Exactly. We'll try to understand what the holistic scientist Dada Bhagwan and his successor today, His Divine Holiness Kanu Dadaji, has so nicely explained this fact. Normality is perfection. It is true freedom. Normality is moksha, where moksha means experience peace, harmony, and bliss now, with final release or liberation from continuous rebirth and attain nirvana. They have called the normal human body temperature, they have recalled that the body normal temperature is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. And they have so nicely said any temperature above or below 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit is considered abnormal. What it means, you are not well. So when you are normal, you are perfect, you are healthy, you are joyful, and you are blissful. So simply it is said by the holistic scientists. Okay.
So you distinguish between normal and abnormal. What about distinction between, Deepak Anandji, natural and unnatural?
That's what we will be trying to understand, that here we will try to understand the meaning of normality as given in the English dictionary. I mean, one of the explanation given in the dictionary is how much natural you are, you're normal. So as much natural you are, you're normal. So someone who is natural would be normal. So when you're natural, you're normal, and then only you are happy, ever joyful and blissful. Just look around. If you see the plants, trees, animals, creatures, and even the planets up in the sky, they are all natural. They coexist happily, and due to which they look wonderful, they look great. Even the mountains, rivers, oceans, and sky are all natural. We always want to see them, feel them, and be out over there because we experience a kind of peace, serenity, and happiness seeing them or being over there. If you observe the internal functioning of our human body, that is breathing, digestion, circulation, brain functions, they are also natural. But think of the outside aspect, our social interactive aspect. It is unnatural today because we have basic problem getting along with one another. If we cannot get along well with one another, then we are not comfortable, we are not happy, and so we are not normal. So the interactive part of human existence is not normal, and that's why it is not natural, and that's why we are in pain and suffering. This is definitely something very serious and needs immediate attention. Just we want to highlight a justification which was given by Stephen Hawking. He said, while further seeking Einstein's claim of a final theory of everything as concept of unified field theory, which he said would be a combination of theory of relativity and electromagnetism, has explained how he came to know about Big Bang and black holes to the image of the universe with remarkable truths. In his success story, and the reason for that perfection is, he says that's how I learned to understand from what I saw. So we must have that inner understanding to understand and learn from what we see. In these regards, holistic science helps us perceive, examine, and understand that we are living under the potent influence of arrogance, pride, possessiveness, and greed, leading to cutthroat competition, gross compromise of ethics, and serious manipulations, which are absolutely unnatural and abnormal. These turns out to be the primary cause of extreme likes and dislikes in our life and consequent suffering, sorrow. And now, as we have seen previously also, the 9 diamonds, which is given by the holistic science as tool to correct ourselves from inside, it can really help us become sincere to ourselves, and that's how we see that we don't hurt anyone. So when one lives with such insincerity, not following the 9 diamonds, being violent and unnatural way of living, we end up hurting others. In turn, we definitely get hurt and make us suffer. So natural living would always make us happy, harmonious, and peaceful. That's how it is.
So, Deepali, thanks for expounding on natural. I think I'm getting feedback. So, what do you recommend as far as our daily routines in terms of natural and normal living? Like, what should we do during the day, or how should we start off our day to make sure that we incorporate normal and natural living in our daily life?
Right, perfect. We should see, first of all, we all are living, and everything or anything that is living is very holy, very respectful, and divine. So everyone wants to exist, everyone wants to be happy, everyone wants to be healthy. So here we will try to understand the way we refer to uh, Einstein's theory of everything, wherein he wanted to say that everything is connected, everything is one, and that is answer to every level of existence. And if that is understood, we can expand that to our living form also. So we try to understand that the same thing can be explained, that the very fact that we humans are living, we are also natural like other beings, like how we talked about plants, animals, planets, and one that is naturally supposed to be normal too. Our bodies are all made up of matter, the same matter, truly the same matter what Einstein referred to. But since it is living, the holistic science has referred to that matter as live matter. And now, in this regards, holistic science teaches us how to cultivate positive vision, that is, positive understanding in our lives' most trying and formidable situations through the tools given by the science. What is the tool? It's quite simple, but we'll try to understand that. It says you are whole and so responsible for yourself, no one else. What goes around comes around. The science of cause and effect given by Newton's third law, every cause and effect are equal and opposite. Whatever that was caused out by us ignorantly gets discharged out naturally now through the live matter. So, in any situation, I must see, look around who is suffering, and it is sufferer who is at fault. And if it is my fault, then only I can suffer. I must not see who is making me suffer. It has also given that because we exist differently in different bodies, everyone is different. We see a diverse human society. And in this diversity, everyone have their own ego. So the master key for peaceful existence is adjust everywhere. And the secret principle of decision that if you decide, things happens. If you don't decide, things just don't happen. So we must make use of this tool of adjust everywhere so that we can coexist happily, harmoniously with all our relations. And with that, we'll be able to avoid clashes. So making us observe, making us observe, understand, and experience that everyone we come across are all one, united in this visible diversity. And when we are one, united, we can neither hurt anyone nor even get hurt. We would definitely experience happiness which would last forever. So, to recall again, everything that is living is very holy, very divine, and we must live wisely, respectfully with everyone we come across. And the best way to live with such total humility would be to decide every morning, which you asked, every morning we must decide that I will spend the day. I have the three instruments of my mind, speech, and body. So I will live with total mindfulness that I don't hurt anyone through my thoughts, speech, and action. And by any chance I end up hurting anyone else, then I must acknowledge that right away, correct myself through forgiveness, and resolve not to do it again. Eventually, we would be free from all such unnatural way of living wherein others are hurt. And that's how I will become normal, which would definitely make me joyful and blissful. So when the individual changes, when the individual improves, a group, wherever they are, because man is a social animal, so he would be living with someone. So that's where his relations would improve there, and that's how it will expand to the world. So we must focus on our mind, try to remain impartial, remaining at the center through adjust everywhere tool with my own self, with the group, and with the world. Present moment is very important because I live now. I don't live in the future, past is gone. So I am now living, and if I live with this humility, perfect humility that I don't hurt anyone through my thought, speech, and action, definitely I'll be blissful, ever joyful. And this is the secret, very simple, very much acceptable. Anybody can understand and anybody can follow. So this decision of not to hurt anyone through our mind, speech, and body would ultimately make our life safe. It will do the highest welfare to be natural and normal in this natural world.
Yeah, thanks for expounding on the essential key to normal living, which you said, we should start with deciding that we will not hurt anyone with our mind, speech, or body. And if we do, ask for forgiveness. I just wanted to help understand the link, Deepak Anandji, between normal living and your physical well-being. So how does our being normal impact our health and well-being and the well-being of people around us?
So it is like when we are born in a family, whatever our parents eat, if I eat that stuff, because I got my body from my parents, my normality would be that. Does that make some sense?
Yeah.
So in that respect, wherever, if ever I have to find out, then anything which is normal would be perfect, would be would make that person, that situation happy, joyful, and that's how the natural existence is. Like if you see water when it starts from mountain top, its goal is to reach the ocean principally. And whatever that comes in its way, it adjusts itself, never tells anyone out of my way, but it makes its way through and reaches the ocean. Same way, our goal is of happiness. Everyone wants to be happy because everyone exists, everyone is living, and whoever who is living wants to be happy. That is our nature. But the way we live, and especially the humans only, under the influence of arrogance, pride, possessiveness, and greed, that's where they end up hurting others, and in turn, the nature gives it back. So, whatever is happening in the nature is natural only, but we don't identify that as natural, and we try to do something unnatural way wherein we get punished. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I love what you said about if you want to find out normality, especially with your diet, then you can just look to your parents and see, is what I'm doing, for example, if they're following vegetarianism, is that what I am doing? And if not, then it may be um, not abiding by the normal or not being normal. It is abnormal then, because if I'm following something else in terms of diet, for example.
Right.
So Deepak Anandji, we have our first question from the audience. Please introduce yourself and go ahead.
Good morning. This is Rajnikant Patel from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'm a retired executive and author of children's books. Deepak Anandji, this is a very good, interesting topic. But let me ask a question on practicality. In today's world, which is very, very fast, everybody is busy. Communication is uh, below par, and if tendency is people to blame you either in the at work or in the family, people are already ready to blame you all the time, even if you don't have uh, done anything wrong. So how would you naturally and normally you can respond to that? Because in this fast world, you sometimes see the tendency to get back at them.
First thing is that if you have not genuinely committed any mistake, then any blame that comes from around you, from anyone, inside you must not accept it. And just like if it is coming from your boss, then practically you cannot argue with your boss. But inside you must know that you haven't done anything wrong. So you must not take it too hard. And because it is coming from your boss, at that particular moment, accept whatever he says. And afterwards, when you find a good time, he is in good mood, give an explanation. What was the situation? And I think so that should resolve. If things
Yeah, but
come from if things come from subordinate, same thing, but you can that is very much less likely to come, less likely to come, because people just want to pass their mistake on others, which is very common, which is very common. So on its face value, you must know that you haven't done anything wrong. So don't take it too hard.
yeah,
And
it
then
is technology. Like you said, you cannot accept it or don't take it hard. But you know, there are moments where your ego just wants to uh, take care of it and say, "Hey, I didn't do it. Why you are blaming?" Blah blah blah, and that may get into control. So that's the ego part, which is not sometimes able to accept it.
yes, so it's a process of learning, slow process of learning, wherein you come to know that, you come to know that, and you come out of it. In the sense, so it's a gradual process of learning. Initially, you would react egoistically, trying to protect yourself, and have a big difference. At times, you can have some kind of clash also. But eventually, you will be able to handle your ego and have that inner conviction that if you haven't done anything wrong, even if your intentions were not wrong, your intentions were positive, and still you failed, then you accept it. You don't have to feel bad about it, because acceptance will help you improve also. Does that make some sense?
Yeah, I think
See, there is also one more thing. Nobody is born perfect. Nobody is will be successful all the time. Nobody wants to commit any mistake. So you also don't want to commit any mistake. But if you end up committing a mistake, and if it is genuinely right, then accept it. But if it is not, then from inside you have to be very clear that you haven't done anything wrong, so you must not feel bad about it at all. And when you have a good time, look for an appropriate situation and give an explanation.
yes, yes. I think you made a key point that learning is a key point because these days our children, I have grown up children, and because of the modern technology and all that, we always say, "Hey, Dad, you don't understand. You don't know this." So that goes on, and we have to learn that part of it to be calm and quiet.
Exactly. And we must also be open to learning also. It is not a very difficult thing, but somehow we have made up our mind or blocked our mind not to learn, not to accept the change. But if you want to be with the world, you must know some basic things, be with them, Otherwise, you will lose the communication, and then I think so you will not like that at all.
Yes, yes, yes. I have another question. Earlier, you alluded to 9 diamonds of 9 code of conduct.
Right.
Can you briefly explain how those will bring us to normality and naturality?
See, one thing is there. We commit mistakes out of rage only. Under the influence of our inner weaknesses of pride, possessiveness, and greed, which makes us live egoistically. We end up hurting others. We end up using our instrument, mind, speech, and body for thinking, speaking, and dealing badly with others. We hate others, and all those things which are given in the 9 diamonds. But when I decide that I want to live as per the 9 diamonds and use that as my projection every morning, then it will tinkle a bell inside me every time I cross any diamond. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Because when I decide that I will not hurt anybody's ego, then every time I happen to hurt anyone's ego, it will ring a bell inside me. Hey, you've done wrong. You've done wrong. And it will make me correct myself.
Yeah.
What it means, if I have decided to do something and I don't do, there is a natural machinery inside which cautions me, which alerts me inside that you're doing wrong. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, yeah. But can you briefly talk about the 9 diamonds? So, first thing I understand, the first diamond is not to hurt anyone.
Okay, we can say that. Let us see. So under the potent influence of these inner weaknesses, I wouldn't know, but inadvertently I will live such that egoistically that I hurt others. That's how I be crossing the first diamond. Second one, I end up hurting others' religious beliefs because I feel that whatever I think I believe and I follow is correct. So that is the second diamond. Third, I will not respect elders, religious preachers, saints, or nuns. So that's where I'll be crossing the third diamond. Then I, because I have gone one step ahead, I feel myself that I'm better than others and I start hating others. So that's how I break the fourth diamond. Fifth diamond is in relation to our speech. When I have this pride, I will try to protect my ego, protect my pride, and use abusive language or language such that others are hurt. So I'll be breaking the fifth diamond. If I'm already married, I'm not supposed to have any relations with any other person except my spouse. But because of my inner weaknesses, I end up doing that. That's where I break the sixth diamond. Eating only certain taste of food because I like that and I don't eat a balanced diet, it is definitely going to reflect on my health. That's where I break the sixth, seventh diamond. And imagine I should disregard towards others who are present or absent, who are living or dead, which is very common when two individuals get together, then they talk about the third person who is not present. Maybe that person is present or absent or living or dead. That's where I'm crossing the eighth diamond. And now I live such that I'm not taking care of my welfare and so also of others. Then I'm breaking the ninth diamond. So this is how I live insincerely to my own self by crossing these 9 diamonds everywhere. And when I pray, when I resolve to these projections of 9 diamonds, then every time I cross any of these diamonds, it will tinkle a bell and make me correct myself and resolve that I will live as per the 9 diamonds only.
Thank you very much. So this is a good line for normality and naturality. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have our next question from the audience. Please introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Hello, Deepak Anandji. My name is Mahendra Gosar. I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
And my question is, in life you go through different situations, different stages. And specifically, let me give an example. So my question is more relevant. Is my daughter is going to college and she's moving 3-4 hours away from us. She's starting her own life and living by herself. So as parents, we have raised her. She's been with us for 18 years. It's hard to see that person now not live with us. So how we understand that situation. I've been through that myself. But when it comes from the other side, now I'm on the other side of the table. How do you handle that, and how do you look at it? How you should be normal to maintain that same happiness and
That's true, but with today's means of communication, I don't think so. Distance remains the criteria. Like you are sitting there in Chicago, he's in Allentown, Pennsylvania, the other person is in Madison, Wisconsin, I am in Toronto. So where's the distance? We're still talking as if we are just sitting across the table. But everyone have to come out of the psychology. This is because you had been around, your daughter was around with you for like 18 years. Every day you see her several times, and now you don't see her physically. So there would be a natural tendency. But you know why we get affected? We keep talking, we keep saying, she has gone, she has gone, she has gone. That itself creates a kind of psychology. So what you must be doing is don't say those words, those negative words. It will start affecting you. And if it affects you, then it will affect your wife also. It will affect your wife also, which is not right. So don't say those negative words. And wherever you feel that you want to talk, she's not that far. I am sure that she's just one call away, isn't she?
yes, yeah.
Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So first thing is that those thoughts will come. She has gone, she has gone, she has gone. But where is she gone? She may be 2 hours away. And if you feel that by road it is 10 hours, then you say that, oh, by flight she is just 1 hour away, 1.5 hours away. Do you understand? It always depends upon how you see things, how you perceive makes you feel like that. Do you understand?
Yeah, definitely. That's
Yes, so this is how you must do plus minus with your mind for your own stability. Okay?
okay. That
That's the
helps.
first thing.
That's
That's the first thing. And if you think, if you get negative thoughts, then see that, sorry, I need to connect my power. Sorry, just hold on. Just hold on, please.
No problem.
Oh, Sorry for the interruption. My laptop needed power. So that's how you must see that you keep yourself connected, and any negative thought that come, pray positively for her safety. Okay?
Yeah, but when she was with us, we were able to see her. We
So
were able to see
again
our
I
see guy.
repeat,
But there is
again
this
repeat.
anxiety.
That's what I'm saying. Again I repeat. Don't keep saying she has gone, she has gone, she has gone, she has gone. It is
Yes.
going to create a lot of psychological effect on you. And it can happen with anyone. It can happen with anyone.
Makes
That's how
sense.
you must
So,
see. It's like, as such, she's not gone that far also. But it's only our psychological effect that she has gone. And when we keep saying that, it has a negative effect on you. Understand?
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And plus, there is no communication is there, as you said. So it's there.
Yes, very much. And with today's media, the video calls and all that, like what we are doing now, where am I? Where are you guys? And we are still communicating with each other as if we are talking and across the table.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
You're on mute, Manish. Bhai.
Thank you, Deepak Anandji. We have last question from our audience. Please go ahead.
My name is Ajay Rawal and I'm from Madison, Wisconsin. And I would like to go back on the same thing we discussed, and that was 9 diamond code.
Okay.
I understand the brief and the way you explain what's happening and what are the codes. But if we little elaborate that thing, so three things are happening. And if we try to understand, so the first part is the happening part, and that's the past cause. The second stage is correction, and that's in the present situation. And the third part, and that's the future, that error or that wrong thing will not happen again. So in these three steps, the two steps are more important, and the first is that's the past cause and the current present situation. When something happens and when something comes to us, how we should balance those two parts and just get rid of that situation immediately.
Which two parts?
First, the happening part, and the second, the correction part.
How do you want to get rid of that?
Yeah, so I just get rid of means I just balance that situation and not involve with the things happening.
See, one thing is there. Whatever mistake is committed, now at this moment is history only. It has already happened. Something has occurred. You understand?
Yes.
So there is no point in having any kind of guilt feeling that, oh, I did this wrong, that wrong, and all that. So be wise, because you never wanted to do, but somewhere there was a lapse which made you commit this mistake, which you want to correct now so that it never happens again. So because it is history, You cannot eliminate your past, but be wise and accept that mistake and learn from that mistake not to commit it again. So accept that mistake, so acknowledge that mistake, ask for forgiveness that you are sorry for what happened, and decide now that I will not commit a mistake similar anytime anymore. Do you understand? So this resolution, this decision eventually will happen. So whatever lapse that were there, which made you commit that mistake, now you're removing those lapse through a fresh decision. What it means, when you ask for forgiveness, then you are clearing your mind. You are clearing your mind because there was a belief in the mind which made you do that act or commit that act. So, you are purifying or removing the toxicity from your mind. And when you decide not to do it again, then it is like you are making your watchman make a firm decision not to allow any mistake. You understand that? And that's how it will not allow any mistake to get committed. Although you may get thoughts, but when your decisions are firm, then what will happen? You may get thoughts, but you will not act because the gatekeeper doesn't allow you to act. So that is where our decision works. Decision plays a vital role that way. Do you understand that?
Yes, now it's clear.
Yeah, so that decision is very important. It will stop you acting. Although you get a thought, you may get thoughts, but your decision will stop you acting. It's like many things we have decided. Just give you an example. You don't smoke. You have decided not to smoke. You come across people who are smoking. You may get thoughts also. Say, oh, why can't we try someday? But your decision doesn't allow you to smoke. Do you understand that? But if that decision changes, never mind, I can taste sometime. When people are saying there's a lot of fun in it, why can't we try? This is where, although you had decided not to take, which doesn't allow you to take now, but in future, you have opened the gates of smoking. Does that make sense? That's where you have to make it very clear and firm that your decision don't change. So forgiveness clears or purifies our mind, and resolution reinstates our decision and make it firmer, stronger, fail-safe, not to commit that mistake again, ever again. It's totally scientific. Okay.
Yeah, I think this, Himakanji, thanks for everything. Thanks for expounding on normal and natural living as it relates to the principles of holistic science. I think one of the big takeaways from this is we should at least take the first step of resolving every day when we start every day is that we are not going to hurt anyone with our mind, speech, and body. And if we still end up doing that, then ask for forgiveness. And that is a quick, simple, but highly effective way of bringing us back to normality. And then, of course, you mentioned how normality also is related to our physical well-being, not only just mental well-being. So thanks again for expounding on how normal and natural living links to happiness. This concludes our call today. We will be having another Google Talk in September, third Sunday of September, which is September 17th. Thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you next time. Good morning.
Thank you, everyone.
Deepak Anandji.
Thank you, everyone, for giving this opportunity.